Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe.
Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna. Welcome to Shri Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Mandir, Gopinath Bhavan, Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Srila Gurudev Ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Rupan Gauri Guru Varga Ki Jai, Pavan Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai, Prem Purushottam Shachinandana Gaur Hari Ki Jai. Shashank, Radhe Radhe. Shri Shri Radha Vinod Bihari Ji Ki Jai, Radha Ramana Ji Ki Jai, Giriraj Maharaj Ki Jai, Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai, Hare Krishna Mahamantra Ki Jai. Okay. Dr. Gopal Ki Jai. Anant Koti Vaishnava Vrind Ki Jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrind Ki Jai, Shri Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. So we will begin with Mangalacharan, page 1 of Sri Gauriya Giti Guccha, Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam, page 1, Dandeham, Vandeham. Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Namine Shri Krishna Lila Katane Sudaksham Avadalya Madhurya Gunaishcha Yuktam Varam Varinyam Purusham Mahattam Narayanam Vamshirasham Namami Trigandinam Bhakta Shiromanincha Shri Krishna Padajidvaita Vriddhi Chaitanya Leela Sarasara Narayanam Tvam Satatam Prapadye Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavani Paschatya Deshakarine Namo Vishnupadaya Gaurapresthaya Bhutale Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragya Keshavarti Namine Ati Bhattya Charitraya Swashritanam Chavarine वैराग्यमूर्तये विप्रलम्भानसम्बोधे पदम्बुजाय ते नमः नमो भक्तिविनोदाय सच्चिदानन्दनामिने गौरशक्तिस्वरूपाय रूपानुगम्बराय ते गौराविर्भावभूमे स्वं निर्दिष्टा सजनप्रिय वैष्णवः सर्वभौमः श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः वञ्चाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्तकञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये जयतां सुरतो पङ्गो मम मन्दं मतिर्गति मत्सर्वस्वपदं भोजो राधामदनमोहनो दिव्यदारण्यकल्पद्रुमान् श्रीमद्रत्नागारसिंहासनस्थो श्रीराधा श्रीरघोविन्ददेव प्रेष्ठानिधि सेव्यमानो स्मरामि श्रीमन्नरसरसारम्भी वंशिमन्त्रकृतस्थितः कर्षण्येरुस्वरैर्गोपी गोपीनाथः श्रीयेश्वरः वृन्दाये तुलसीदेव्यै प्रियायै केशवस्य च कृष्णभक्तिप्रदे देवी सत्यवत्यै नमो नमः पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्तान्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं जय श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द चेतो दर्पणमार्जनं भवमहादावग्निर्वापनं श्रेयकैरवचन्द्रिका वितरणं विद्यावधूजीवनम् आनन्दं गुरुवर्धनं प्रतिपदं पूर्णामृतास्वादनं सर्वात्मस्नपनं परं विजयते श्रीकृष्ण संकीर्तनम् हरेर्नाम हरेर्नाम हरेर्नामैव केवलम् हरो नस्त्येव गतिरन्यथा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे गुरु चरण कमल भजमन.
May you give us a page
Page 359.
Thank you.
Shri Guru Charana Kamal Bhajaman. Let's see how it starts here. Guru, G-U-R-U, Charana, C-A-R-A-N-A, Kamala, K-A-M-A-L-A. By Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaja.
is that just Sri Rupa? Okay. How about Sakala Vaishnava Goshai?
Sakala Vaishnava Gosai. Page 46.
Starts Sakala. Sakala Vaishnava Goshai.
मीनाक्षी साधु मुझे बोले सर बजा Sorry, that's page 51. Shuniyachi sadhu mujhe Suniyyachi Shuniyachi by Srila Narottam Das Thakur.
Suniyyachi sadhu
I was requested to sing Canadian Thai first. Oh, he's in there, right? Janama Bhayana. Hari Hari Vipale Janama Bhayana.
Page number?
I don't know.
Starts with Hari Hari Bipale, Biphale. Lyrics to each bhajan and all the nectar that you do. If you're new to this Sangha on Facebook, if you keep scrolling down, you'll find that Jiva Pavana Prabhu is always adding the lyrics and so much beautiful nectar. Devaki Didi says this is her favorite bhajan. Oh, Prabhupada's favorite bhajan.
This is very good song. Hari Hari Bithale Janama Hari Hari Vikhare Jana Vikhare Jana Parama Karuna Pahu Duijana Nitai Gaura Chandra.
Do you know the page?
No. Page 84, P-A-R-A-M-A. Sachinandan Gaur Hari Ki Jai. Krishna Deva Bhagavatam Bhante.
Page number
340.
You said no.
Oh,
I didn't mean it.
I'm looking for the other version. What's the time? Okay. There's so many beautiful bhajans, I can't figure out which one I want to do. Hari He Dayal Mur Jai Radhanath, page 145. Hari He Dayal Mur, H-A-R-I-H-E-D-A-Y-A-L-A-M-O-R-A. Bol Hari Bol. Hari Bol Hari Bol. What page it is?
Does it start with mana or just
I think it
bol?
starts with Bol in the songbook.
Bol Hari Bol, page 174. Bol Hari Bol. Larmuri here is saying, I hope your mridanga player is wearing tiara.
She has a speck left. That's why she's so good today. Tilak is power. So 174, Bol Hari Bol. Mana Bol Hari, Bol Hari, Hari Hari Bol. Govinda Madhava Gopal Bol. Mana Bol Hari, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna
Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadale Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namah Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Namah Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Nityanamine Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanamine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanang Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Ninatarinam. First of all, I offer my Dandava Pranam thousands of times in the dust of the lotus feet of our beloved Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishna Vishnupad, Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta, Narayan Goswami Maharaja. And the same thousands of Dandava Pranam into the dust of the lotus feet of Nitya Lila Pravishna Vishnupad, Ashtottara Shata Shri Srimad Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, and to our Rupanuga Gaudiya Guru Varga, and to all Vaishnavas past, present and future, including those who are present with us today, I offer my Dandava Pranam.
Dandava Pranam, Dandava Pranam.
Do you hear something funny out there?
Yeah.
You should check it out.
My door's locked.
Still, someone's trying to get in.
I'll check. It's someone next door. Let me just go check.
We have to keep our ears open and our eyes open, because although it is Sri Vrindavan Dham, one time Sudevi approached Gurudev complaining about some kinds of activities that persons in the Dham were performing which just were very disruptive and disturbing. And Srila Gurudev said, even at the time of Krishna, there were so many demons. So what to speak of now?
Someone drew Lali getting the ladder.
Okay.
It's fine.
But still, it's good that we check.
Yeah, of course, of course. Very good.
So I looked through the questions from yesterday, and I feel that I pretty much answered them to the best of my capacity. So tomorrow is a very important, auspicious, holy day. We will be observing the first day of Chaturmasya, also the appearance of Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Guru Purnima, which is the original Vyas Puja, by which Vyasadeva is worshipped, and all Gurus are worshipped on this Guru Purnima. So it is a very important and special day for us. But today, we will continue going beyond Vaikuntha. Before entering into this book, which is actually a manifestation of the heart of Sri Sanatan Goswami and the Heart's Moods commentary of our Gurudev Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, we will pray in the dust of their lotus feet, first calling out to Sri Sanatan Goswami in the words of Raghunath Das Goswami, Vairaga Juga Bhakti Rasam Prayatna Apayana Mam Anubipshamandam Kripam Budirya Paradukha Dukhi Sanatanaspam Prabhum Ashrayami, begging in the dust of their lotus feet that may even a particle of their moods which are present within these pages manifest within our hearts. And it's essential to have this kind of prayer before entering into any holy scripture, because scriptures are none different from the Lord, and we do not attain the mercy of the Lord by our own power. It's not possible to just take it. But if one prays to the Lord, if one prays to these personalities who have written or who have manifested their commentary, then by their mercy, the truth, the knowledge which they are attempting to disseminate may be revealed within our hearts. So there should always be a mood of humility when entering into any book. The book is not just a book, it is a manifestation of their heart, the same as these bhajans. That's why we go in a sequence, first calling out to Sri Guru, that first manifestation of Krishna in our lives, Guru Krishna, then to Vaisnavas, then to Nityananda Prabhu, Rup Goswami, Nityananda Prabhu, Mahaprabhu, then Krishna and Srimati Radhika. Why do we do Krishna first and then Srimati Radhika? Because he says, Radhika Premera Guru Ami Shishyanata, that she is my Guru of Prem. So we're following Guru Parampara like this, because Prem is the highest thing, then we're following this Pumarto Mahan, Prem Pumarto Mahan, that is the highest destination and goal. Then we come to Mahamantra, which is really crying out to Radha, Krishna conjugal for their service. O Radha, O Krishna, please engage me in your loving service. So, are you keeping track of what's going on there, Sudevi?
Mm-hmm.
So the last time we were speaking on this subject of going beyond Vaikuntha. We were speaking about different avatars. Gurudev was speaking about different avatars based on what Sri Sanatan Goswami is telling. He spoke about Kurma avatars, Varaha avatars, many different forms. And in each yuga that they appear, they don't appear in every yuga, but when they do appear, once in a day of Brahma, at least Krishna appears once in a day of Brahma, and Mahaprabhu also appears once in a day of Brahma within this universe. And in other universes, I'm not sure, but at least within this universe. And I was mentioning last time that in other universes, Bhagavatam may be much, much larger. And in our universe we have 12 cantos. But it is impossible that all of the pastimes of Krishna are mentioned only in 12 cantos. Only those who have the eyes to see, when they open up Srimad Bhagavatam. I remember Srila Gurudev telling that in Srimad Bhagavatam, every syllable is saturated with Radha, with Srimati Radhika's moods. Only one who has these eyes to see can understand that. But it is the mood of love and affection, how to develop love and affection and service mood to Krishna. This is the function of Hladini Shakti, service to Krishna. As Srila Prabhupada said, Radharani is the medium by which our love and affection is transmitted to Krishna. So, if one sees that Srimad Bhagavatam is the heart of Krishna, who is the heart of Krishna? That is Srimati Radhika. Then they will understand that every word, every syllable is saturated with her. And they will see it in such light. When we look upon the face of Jagannath, we see Jagannath. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna in Radha Bhav, looks upon the face of Jagannath, he in her bhav sees him as Sakshat Brajendranandan, non-different from Krishna in Vrindavan. So depending on the vision of that person who is viewing, they will see it accordingly. As Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita states, that the Uttam Mahabhagavat doesn't exactly see the material world and the workings of this material world. Rather, they see their Ishtadev present within and playing within everything. Speaking of playing, today I read a beautiful quote. Jamuna Devi was referring to something she heard directly from Srila Prabhupada. And in that reference, he was speaking about the dancing of Srimati Radhika. That she is always dancing. And without her dancing, nothing in the entire creation could exist. That by her dancing, everything is being maintained. I just thought that was very beautiful and I should share it before I forget it. So I won't forget it. So here, Srila Gurudev was speaking about Varahadev. And there are many different forms of Varaha. Even in Srimad Bhagavatam, the forms of Varahadev, which is the boar incarnation, these forms of Varahadev mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam, we see it as one flowing katha, but actually it is referring to many different aspects, many different incarnations of Varahadev. I think 4 or 5 are mentioned there. So here, there is another Varaha incarnation who found that when he went to Rasatal, Hiranyaksha was there waiting for him. Hiranyaksha is the younger brother of Hiranyakashipu, but he was born first. So how is it that he's considered the younger brother although he was born first? According to Vedic understanding, the child who went in first is kept in longer, and the child who went in second comes out first. Does that make sense? If you have a can with tennis balls, the tennis ball that goes in first comes out last. So the one who goes first, because conception is considered the source of age, not the day that you're born, but the moment of conception. How does one know when there's conception? Because traditionally, parents would perform proper samskars, garbhodan samskar, to attract any good personality. Except in this case, there wasn't a samskar performed, so demons manifested instead. And that is the whole reason for the Mahabharata war. Krishna said in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavad Gita that due to unwanted population, which arise due to so many sinful activities, this unwanted population is uncultured. And the uncultured, unwanted population creates havoc in this world. So they behave in a demonic way, which produces so many problems in this world. So for this purpose, yada yada hi dharmasya, to re-establish the principles of dharma and to remove adharma, to save the devotees and to annihilate those who are miscreants, who are against the devotees, Krishna descends himself. And we see in this world how this world is today. It is a product without much real religion, without real dharma in the background. So many are very selfishly self-centered, and also creating so many problems and difficulties. So Krishna descends in so many ways to let us know he's coming. I'm coming here to clean up house. And he comes in so many different ways. He told Arjuna in the 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita so many different ways that he manifests. And he actually mentioned, of lights I am the sun, rasoham apsukante, of tastes I am water, of fragrances I am the earth, of beasts I am the lion, of warriors I am Arjuna, time I am death, who devours everything. Mrityu sarva haraschaham, I am death. So in this world we see that. There's so much of that now. And we should understand that everything has some kind of connection to Krishna. Not even a blade of grass moves without his sanction. We should not separate anything. Sometimes people think that if someone in their family dies, then they go, oh Krishna, why did you do this to me? We tend to think that he really is worried about the change of bodies in this world. But Krishna says very clearly that even a self-realized soul, dehinosminyata dehe komaram yoganam jara tata dehantara prapir dhiras tatra namuhyati. Someone who is even sober-minded, who has some knowledge, they are not bewildered by the jiva's change of bodies. So why would Krishna be bewildered by the jiva's change of bodies? He's not attached to that. What does Krishna want? He only wants us to be happy. And how can we be happy? Savai pungsang parodharmo yato bhaktiradhokshache ahitiki apratihata yayatma suprasid. If we want to attain complete perfection, that means awakening our Satchit Ananda, our eternal existence, full of knowledge of our relationship and interaction of love and affection with Krishna, full of bliss, happiness and service to Krishna. How can we develop that? Ito bhakti radhoksaje. By developing unprecedented, unceasing, unmotivated, means materially unmotivated love and affection in service to Krishna. This is what will make us happy, and this will also make him happy. Yayatma suprasidati. So coming back to the point here, Hiranyaksha is the younger brother of Hiranyakashipu, although he was born first. So therefore Hiranyaksha, on behalf of his older brother Hiranyakashipu, was traveling around the world conquesting on behalf of Hiranyakashipu. And he was creating havoc everywhere. Mind you, he was one of the gate guards of Narayan and Vaikuntha, so he had so much power. By the power of Yogamaya, they took the bhav of demons. Asura bhavam ashrita. They actually took these bhavs of demons, but this was not the power of Mahamaya, it was the power of Yogamaya. By the will of the Lord, because he desired to fight, they came in this world to fight him in the form of demons, and very, very powerful demons. So Hiranyaksha was wandering everywhere, collecting so much wealth and defeating his enemies. He came to Varunadev, and Varunadev told him, I'm an old man, I'm not even worthy of you fighting, you're very powerful, but I know someone who will defeat you, that is Vishnu. Vishnu will leave you like food for the dogs, food for the jackals, when he's done with you. So Varunadev was kind of offending him, but in an indirect way. Oh, Vishnu will do this. He's like, where can I find him? And Varunadev said he is everywhere, but finding him is very, very difficult. Even Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, only by undivided love and affection can I be understood as I am, in truth. So how do you find him? He reserves the right to be seen. It is not that we can just say, oh, I see him. Yes, we can come to the temple and see the Lord. But really, what is the way to actually see him? Premanjana churita bhakti vilochanena. With the eyes smeared with the salve of love and affection, with love and devotion, then we will be able to see him. With love and devotion. Otherwise, we might not be able to see him. Not love and devotion for what is my own pleasure, but what is for his happiness, pleasure, and benefit. If I'm only doing everything for what I like, then am I really seeing? Who is the seer? Krishna is the seer. And I should make myself in such a way. Srila Prabhupada would say this, Gurudev would say this, all of our Guru Varga and Shastra would say this, that I should make my heart, myself, my endeavor in such a way that Krishna will be eager and greedy to see me. It's beautiful. So Hiranyaksha is asking, how will I find him? How can I see him? Varunadev says he is everywhere, but finding him is very, very difficult. When you meet him, he will destroy your pride. Hiranyaksha was told that if he went to Rasatal, at the time of the final dissolution, he would meet Vishnu there. He arrived there first, and he remained waiting there for a very long time, submerged in the water. Finally, Varaha arrived there and took the earth on his snout. Hiranyaksha immediately wanted to fight him, but Varahadev was like, I'm busy now. So he took the earth and was rushing away as Hiranyaksha was challenging him. And then Hiranyaksha was thinking, what a coward you are, running away from a challenger. In Kshatriya Bhav, if any other Kshatriya runs away from a challenge, this is considered the worst kind of insult. Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, for one who has known honor, dishonor is worse than death. So Hiranyaksha is accusing him of this. I challenged you to a fight and you're running away from me? What kind of cowardly person are you? But Varahadev felt and understood the necessity to rescue the earth, first to place the earth in orbit, floating above this universal flood water, and then he would address Hiranyaksha's concerns, which were quite selfish. So, finally, Varahadev arrived there and took the earth on his snout, just as a huge elephant holds a small flower, or as someone holds a mustard seed. It was so easy for him. He established the earth above the water, and then turned to fight with the demon. They fought for thousands of years. Why did they appear in the first place? Because Narayan desired within his heart to fight. And the nature of the devotee is bhakti, that I desire to fulfill your desire. They don't have selfish desire, but they want to please the Lord. So within their hearts immediately manifested this desire, I would like to fulfill your desire. And then the Lord becomes eager to fulfill the desire of his devotee to fulfill his desire. So then, the four Kumaras came, so many different things happened. The four Kumaras cursed these two gate guards to become demons. Then they were given the opportunity to become demons, to be able to fight with the Lord 3 times as his enemy. So they fought for thousands of years, and this was actually for the Lord's pleasure. And in the end, Varahadev killed Hiranyaksha with his club, thereby destroying his pride. In another time, it is said that he killed him by hitting him in the base of his ear with his hoof. So he spun around and hit him in the base of the ear, and at that time it said that Hiranyaksha's eyeballs popped out, his skeleton collapsed, and he fell down dead. So Varaha killed him with his club, thereby destroying his pride. Then Varahadev disappeared. These are 2 separate Varaha incarnations. One is white, the other is black. But we know of also reddish forms as well. Oh, here we go. Another incarnation is Yaksha Varaha. In each of his pores are millions of Brahmandas. Brahmandas means universes. Anda means egg. Brahmanda. So within each universe, which is like an egg, are galaxies. What we can see within our material universe is all within one universe. As far as any telescope can see and as far as they project is all within one universe. And there is such a massive covering. The outer shell of this universe is so deep and thick and impenetrable that no one can penetrate it unless it is the Supreme Lord or any jiva who has attained liberation. Because the jiva is more fine than any of these material elements. But otherwise, if we're still in material conditioning, how can we escape the boundaries of the material universe? If you want to know more of those details, you can look up the history of when Krishna brought Arjuna to Mahavishnu to retrieve the 10 sons of the Brahman who had been taken by Mahavishnu, because he wanted to have darshan of Krishna. How beautiful is Krishna that even Mahavishnu arranges this beautiful pastime so that he can see Krishna. This was his reasoning for taking the sons of the... I took the sons of the Brahmins so that I can see you, so that I can receive your darshan. How beautiful is Krishna. So, in this Varaha, in each of his pores are millions of Brahmandas, and he accepts the results of sacrifice. By his mercy, the earth heard the Puranas, the same ones written by Vyas. And so from this we can understand that the Puranas are eternal. The earth heard the Puranas by the mercy of Varahadev. It is said that by his, I wouldn't say roaring. What's the sound he makes, Sudevi? Varahadev made some kind of transcendental roar. And from that sound vibration manifested the Vedas and Puranas and everything. But actually we should understand that these are eternal. It is transcendental, Shabda Brahma. So Gurudev here is saying the Puranas are also eternal. Devotees prayed to this Varaha because the earth's surface was too rough and they were unable to do any farming. It would not retain water, and the people could not live without grains and water. So being merciful, Varaha incarnated, and with his teeth he uprooted big mountains and made the earth's surface smooth. So he was tilling the land with his tusks. This is the nature of a boar, that with his snout he digs. Afterward, the earth appeared as if it had been plowed. At that time, the earth personified assumed the form of a female boar. Her name was Dharitri Devi, and she was the potency, Shakti of Bhu Devi. Bhu is Mother Earth. So Mother Earth's manifestation was Dharitri Devi. Vishnu assumed the form of a boar, so she became a female boar. And from them, Narakasur was born. Originally, his name was Dharitri Nandan, not Narakasur. So he was the son of Dharitri Devi. But as a result of falling into bad association, he became a demon. The son of Varahadev and Bhumi Devi became a demon due to bad association. Now here's this quote I keep quoting. Now I know where it comes from. Association is what makes bhakti appear in the heart, and also that which makes it disappear. So depending on what kind of association we have, one can create or make bhakti appear in the heart, and another can make bhakti disappear from the heart. Like we say in the first three verses of Upadeshamrita. The second one is Atyahara Prayashascha Prajalpo Niyamagraha Janasangas Chalolyamcha Shadvir Bhaktir Vinashyati. What can destroy our inclination in bhakti? Especially Janasanga, association with worldly minded persons. And that is what produces or increases our thirst for Atyahara, over-consuming in so many different ways. Prayasha, over-endeavoring for mundane achievements. Prajalpa, speaking about all nonsense subjects which have nothing to do with bhakti and which will only keep our mind bound within this material world in a way that whatever we're thinking of at the time of death, we will go to that place instead of Krishna, right? Whatever bhav one has. So this is created from Prajalpa. Why? Vacho Vegam. From the Vacha, from the Prajalpa, then Mana. The mind becomes polluted. Or one can say it's the other way around too, since first it comes in the mind and then comes out of the mouth. But here Rupa Goswami is saying, Vacho Vegam. The more we speak about nonsense things, the more we will think about nonsense things. And then as a result, we develop attachment to nonsense things. Nonsense means anything which is not actually grounded in absolute truth. Anything which has a temporary nature. And when that temporary nature, when the desire is not met, or when it is disrupted, then frustration comes. From frustration comes anger, delusion, bewilderment of memory, and then all intelligence is lost. Kama esha, krodha esha, rajaguna samudbhava. So many different instructions are given by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, but here, favorable association, utsaha nishchaya dharya tat karma pravartanat, following in the path of the sadhu, sato vrite, avoiding unfavorable association, sanga tyaga, tat karma pravartana, doing those activities which are favorable for awakening bhakti. This will all come when one is following the sadhu. Enthusiasm, patience, determination, all of the favorable things. Shadbir bhaktir prasiddhyati. This will all be favorable for the development of bhakti. So, bad association, asat sanga, Mahaprabhu says, tyaga, reject that. It is unfavorable and detrimental for your bhakti. It says, shadbir bhaktir binashyati. Binash means to destroy. You can never really destroy the nature of the soul, but the inclination to actually move on the path of bhakti, this can be stunted for what feels like an eternity. Yes?
It seems the Bhakti-Churu Swami just left.
Oh. So we've just received news. Can I say?
Yeah.
Yes. We've just received news that, is that verified, Sudevi?
Yes, Tridandi Maharaj got a verified thing from the GBC, and there's a continuous kirtan going on, and everyone is saying, we will miss you.
Did you see it on his page? Did you check his page? I don't want to spread any false information.
Ramananda just got it from Tridandi Maharaj, from the GBC.
So Sudevi just came and alerted me that just now, Bhakti Charu Swami, disciple of Srila Prabhupada, who was a spiritual master within the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, has just departed this world. He engaged his life with his intention, best intention of serving Srila Prabhupada. And Srila Prabhupada is very, very merciful to his disciples. So Sudevi just came out to let us know Srila Gurudev also had so much affection and was always so kind to the disciples of Srila Prabhupada. And his intention was always to help the disciples of Srila Prabhupada on the order of Srila Prabhupada. And so Sudevi has requested that we can do some kirtan right now.
Ramananda just sent this. This is the letter that was put out about
Did you
him.
check his webpage?
Yeah, this is,
Okay.
it's legit.
Okay, dear devotees, this is this is the GBC committee, executive committee. Dear devotees, please accept our humble obeisances, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. It is with overwhelming heartache that we announce to you the departure of our beloved godbrother and dearmost servant of Srila Prabhupada, His Holiness Bhakti Charu Swami. From his earliest days as a young devotee, Maharaj had the extraordinary privilege of serving as one of Srila Prabhupada's confidential, personal servants, and ever since, His Holiness Bhakti Charu Maharaj's life has been an offering of love at the lotus feet of his spiritual master. Indeed, there was not a service that Maharaj did not perform for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada. As instructed in their very first meeting, Maharaj translated every one of Srila Prabhupada's written works into Bengali, the language of Srila Prabhupada's own birth. To fulfill this cherished order, Maharaj took on years of austerity, rising at midnight to carefully translate his spiritual master's divine words. Maharaj served as one of the most active members of the GBC body. He was an initiating spiritual master with many dedicated disciples all over the world, and he shared Krishna consciousness in every segment of society, from simple Bangladeshi villages to the British Parliament. Maharaj encouraged and advised ISKCON leaders in management and spiritual topics. He saved more than one ISKCON project in times of despair, and did his utmost to contribute to the welfare of the most vulnerable members of society. One of his unique contributions was the Abhay Charan television series that brought the glorious life and pastimes of Srila Prabhupada to the world on an unprecedented scale. And most recently, Maharaja again heightened the glory of his spiritual master by building a marvelous temple and devotee community in the holy city of Ujjain.
It's a very long letter.
Oh, it's very long.
I wanted you to read a little bit of it.
Okay.
Just that he did so much seva for his Gurudev, and that it was legitimate that he did just pass.
So, for his benefit, and especially for the benefit of his disciples. Now, someone had put out something previously, there was some rumor going around that he had already departed. And it's one of the saddest things when someone puts out something like that before the departure of one's Guru. I remember they did that for Srila Bhakti Vallabh Tirtha Maharaj. That these kinds of things should be verified. That's why I didn't want to say anything before verifying it. Because we all know as disciples the pain and the shock that we feel. And so for him and also for all of his disciples and those who are feeling that separation and pain upon the departure of their spiritual master,
and a great sevak of Prabhu,
who has also dedicated his life to propagating the holy name and to serving his spiritual master. And we've seen that. We will do some kirtan now and then continue.
It's been announced.
Hare Rama, Gaur Premanand. Srila Gurudev always expressed that the disciples of Prabhupada are also like his children, like his sons. And I know that the disciples of Prabhupada are definitely like his children, like his sons and daughters. And Gurudev expressed that Guru has more affection for the disciple than millions of mothers of this world. How much hard endeavor Guru undertakes for the benefit of those disciples. And so, whatever compassion we might be able to muster, we cannot imagine the feelings of love, the feelings of affection, and the feelings of compassion that the personification of Krishna's compassion and mercy, the condensed form of that mercy, will experience for any devotee who is making some endeavor, anyone who is taking shelter. We cannot comprehend that kind of affection. Because this devotee, Pujapad Bhakti Chudaswami, has dedicated his life in the service of Srila Prabhupada, I would like to share a little bit about our own experience of the disciples of Srila Prabhupada, especially when we were young at the time of Srila Prabhupada, and just after the departure of Srila Prabhupada, seeing their dedication. It is and was unprecedented. If we look around the world, even amongst our own God brothers and God sisters, how quickly weakness set in after the departure of our Gurudev, or even during the presence of our Gurudev. But we see what Srila Prabhupada extracted from these very young boys and girls, young meaning like teenagers. Gurudev would say teeny-aged. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, they gave up everything just for an opportunity to, for even one moment, bring a glint to the eye of their Gurudev, or even a partial smile. And that for them was their life and soul. One moment of pleasure, one moment of happiness to their Gurudev. Giving up everything, giving up all shame in society, everyone judging them, laughing at them, whatever, but for Prabhupada, for Krishna. Because Prabhupada preached Krishna, 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 Hare Krishna. But really underneath, inside, it was to please Him. We lived it. We are the product of it. We saw their dedication. Day and night, serving, giving their inheritance, even if they were working outside. My father worked outside in a factory, but gave hundreds of thousands of dollars to the temple. And we lived very, very simply. He bought a halfway decent car, and someone said, "Oh, that's fancy." Immediately he sold it and got an old junky BMW, Volkswagen, not BMW. Volkswagen, VW, bug, like with a bad paint job and everything. And that's what we had. And he was making millions, but giving it all to the temple. Barely keeping anything for us or for himself to even float the business. And watching how the devotees were serving day and night, morning to evening, waking up early, going to Mangalarti, chanting, taking shelter of Harinam Prabhu, Srimad Bhagavatam class, breakfast prasadam, going out and distributing books, coming back. There were 5 or 6 classes a day. For those who could attend the classes, everything was running like an amazingly, perfectly oiled machine. All for the service of Srila Prabhupada, who would increase their bhakti and bring them to Krishna. It was unprecedented to witness it. Every single day was a festival. Every single day. And hundreds of devotees all working together in unison to please their spiritual master. It was amazing to witness and beautiful to witness. And honestly, we feel so often how short we are falling. We are falling short under their glowing service mood to their spiritual master. They had practically nothing. Going out in the heat of the summer, on Christmas Day or any other day, going out in the winter for hours in the snow and doing Nagar Sankirtan, Harinam Sankirtan, chanting Harinam, jumping up and down and playing mridangas. What they did for their spiritual master. And even after the departure of their spiritual master, still, for years and years and years and years, so many maintaining at least their minimum 16 rounds every day, reading Srimad Bhagavatam, reading the books of their Gurudev, and even if they had become weak, still that feeling of love and affection and appreciation and feeling of one-pointedness to their Gurudev, Guru Nishtha, loyalty at least. 40, 50 years consistent with this. And no one's saying that everyone was perfect, but their intention and their affection was aimed at serving and pleasing their spiritual master. And from this, we can pray to them. We can beg them for even a particle of their nishtha, that may even a particle of that mood of complete dedication that you have given unto your Gurudev, unto Srila Prabhupada. May you also be merciful to me that I can also have this kind of mood of dedication at the lotus feet of my Gurudev. Literally 50 feet away, just down the hallway, there's Vrindavan Vilasini Didi. I remember her. I was born in the same place where she was serving. Day and night, she was in charge of the Ladies Sankirtan book distribution party. And she was taking them out every day for years and years and years and years, giving her energy, her health, her everything in service to Srila Prabhupada. Until now, she's walking like this. She can't even stand up straight because she had book bags on her shoulder all day, distributing Prabhupada's books, which were the saving. They had faith. This is saving humanity. Shyamrani Didi, how she was going out every single day, serving and serving and serving. And even in her current age, I don't even know how old she is, maybe mid-70s. Mid-70s, still she's going out. Still she's giving more energy than everyone around her. Serving her Gurudev, serving Srila Prabhupada, serving her Shiksha Gurus, but giving her full energy in seva. We've seen this, we have witnessed it, and we see it to this day. And so I just wanted to engage all of us in praying that may even a particle of that mood of dedication that they have, and that they have dedicated, and that they are still dedicating, be manifest within our hearts. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Gurudeva ki jai. And may Srila Prabhupada and our Guru Varga mercifully take Bhakti Charu Swami under their care and bring him rapidly and swiftly toward his ultimate destination. And may his disciples also find, may they also be taken by that same mercy, always under the guidance and the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. And may they be strong in their conviction. And never be hopeless. Okay, so
We'll do the last Hare Krishna.
also in this connection, I haven't been saying it for a long time, but he contracted COVID. And there's so many different ideas about it out in the world. And it might be that some don't show symptoms, and they can also be carriers. We have just seen the departure of someone who is in a very prominent position, in a very important position, and serving for so many years, who was elderly, who had contracted this disease, we don't know how, but it was diagnosed as COVID-19. And many people have a feeling of superiority where, well, it's not going to affect me, so I don't need to worry. But you can carry it to someone and extremely negatively affect them. So it's not worth the risk based on one's information that they have scoured from the internet or from some sources that people have sent to them, one way or another. Is it worth it? If our Gurudev was here, I remember there was a pandemic of measles during our parikrama. And people had the disease. Not everyone had it, and not everyone was symptomatic. One young lady looked at Sudevi, smiled at her, and rubbed her. She had it, but she wasn't showing so much that she had it, but she rubbed her hand on Sudevi's face and smiled at her, thinking it was a joke. Sudevi ended up in a very extremely dangerous situation with severe high fevers, with hallucinations, feeling like she was about to leave her body. And they told everyone, stay away from Gurudev. So don't take these things lightly. We should be respectful. Don't play around with it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it, especially for those whose immune systems are weakened. It's not worth it to play the game of, well, I read on the internet, so it's real or it's not. All health communities, the entire world has shut down. So we should not play around with it. Have we ever seen anything like this? Oh, it's this hoax, it's that hoax, it's this hoax, it's that hoax. If you really believe it's a hoax, then you can go take that poison yourself and deal with it. But don't intentionally subject others to this kind of thing. It's not fair, it's not nice, and it is against affection. It is aparad. So please be careful for this disease. Don't play around with it. If it is real or not, it's not worth the risk. So just be respectful, especially of those who are elderly. Don't come near them if you've been freely mixing, and don't touch them and play around and breathe on them as if everything is okay. You might be okay, but you could be the cause of their death. So, and we could claim, well, this is karma, it's their karma, and this and that, but I appeal to you. We have a friend in Brazil, he said, my family is dying all around me. His father contracted it, his uncle contracted it. He's a devotee. His uncle had it, and then his uncle got better, his father got better, and his uncle contracted it again, or remanifested, and his uncle died. Now his aunties have it, some of his cousins have it. He said, my family is dying around me. So, you can choose to believe it or not, but this is a devotee friend of ours who said, my family is dying all around me. I haven't seen anybody personally die next to me, but we are seeing that devotees are leaving with this disease. So please be respectful of this. There's one history I will remind you of. In the Mahabharata war, there was a weapon that was cast, and I believe it was a Narayan astra. Krishna's own weapon was used against the army of the Pandavas. And Krishna told everyone, this is my astra. Everyone offer your pranam to it and it will pass over. Offer your pranam. So everyone followed the instructions of Krishna except for one. Who was that? Bhim. He decided to stand there and take it. So all of the astras that had divided into millions of arrows, and it would have destroyed the entire army in one shot, they all offered their pranam except for one person, that was Bhima. He was standing there and all of them pointed their full attention at him. And he was like, come on! And then Krishna and the others, they had to save Bhima, so they went and literally tackled him to the ground and made him offer pranam to this astra. Right now, there is a powerful astra in this world, and it is claiming the lives of hundreds of thousands of people. And if it's not claiming their life, it is definitely severely, negatively affecting their lives, and we're all experiencing the waves of that effect. So, remembering this, we should be respectful of that, be respectful of our seniors. We have so much to learn from our senior Vaishnavas, so much to learn. So we should not be so neglectful of the value of their human form of life, which is their opportunity for bhajan. So I'm just, this is also our opportunity for bhajan, because they have heard, they have learned, and they have served so many amazing, wonderful Vaishnavas. They have served Srila Prabhupada with their life and soul. They have served our Gurudeva. They have served so many Vaishnavas, and we can learn so much from that. So I just wanted to request all of you to just please be careful and be respectful. Okay. Srila Gurudev ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaura Bhaktivedanta ki jai, Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. So tomorrow we will speak about Chaturmasya, Sanatan Goswami, and we will observe Sri Guru Purnima, which is the first or original Vyasa Puja. Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Guru Varga ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari. Govinda Gam Garavadhave ke, Govinda Gam Govinda Damodar Vrindavan Bihari Lal ki jai. Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe, Jai Jai Shri Radhe. Thank you very much for being with us today and for giving us the opportunity to remember the teachings of our Gurudev and our Guru Varga. I want to continue after tomorrow with this same subject about association because it is the most important essential subject, essential topic. So we look forward to being with all of you tomorrow to glorify Sri Guru, Chaturmasya and Sanatan Goswami. Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat pranam.
Dandavat pranam.
Radhe Radhe.
Radhe Radhe. Shripad Bhakti Churu Swami ki jai.
Jai.
Jai. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.